Hello there and welcome to episode 15 of Weekly Update Wednesday. This week, we're going to tackle the question of whether or not should you promote your songs on radio. A very warm welcome to all the new viewers. Do take a moment to click on the subscribe button down below and also remember to click on the notification bell so that you'll be updated every time I post up a new video. You can also sign up for my email list to receive a bunch of all the free stuff, and we know how much we all love all the free goodies, right? Okay, a big shout out to all the patrons as usual. The patrons are members of our community to help to support this channel financially. Okay, how do we do that? We do that via the crowdfunding website Patreon. So do consider signing up to become a patron. Head on down to the website below, www.patreon.com/studio2105. Okay, sign up to become a patron today. Patrons get a lot of exclusive perks and benefits and goodies such as one-on-one mentoring and tutorial sessions, exclusive content, and you also get discount codes that you can use towards any of these studio services right here at Studio 2105. Last week's MixStream featured a brand new song from the very dear and very good friends of mine, Slapshot. Right? It's a new song titled Hiwaga, and the response that I got from the viewers, especially all the Slapshot fans who call themselves the Slapshot Army, was simply amazing and overwhelming. The live stream itself got over 2,000 views and is still counting, and it has really helped to push this channel like just slightly over 500 subscribers. So thank you very much. A big thank you, a very deep and sincere salamat to all of you fans out there. All right, so stay tuned for more updates on the album mixing progress. All right, you can always follow me on my social media channels on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, on this YouTube channel. Okay, here's a big announcement. If you are a drummer, you would want to pay attention to this. Okay, Music Mountain, which is an online education initiative and platform that's been launched by my drummer and dear friend Rudy, is organizing a drum solo contest. All right, so if you're a drummer and you would be interested in joining this, okay? Here's how to enter, all right? Step one, you have to like and follow the Music Mountain Facebook page and Instagram. Number two, you've got to share the post, all right? The post that's on the Facebook page on your Facebook profile, okay? And number three, you have to record a video of a drum solo, your drum solo, with a duration no longer than 30 seconds. So not longer than 30 seconds, okay? All right. What do you stand a chance to win? You are going to win a personally signed and autographed Pearl Cajon, if I'm not mistaken. Now, full details of this contest are going to be on the Music Mountain Facebook page. So if you're a drummer, you do not want to miss this out. This contest is going to run until September 1st, 2020. So you still got quite a lot of time to send in and submit your videos of your drum solo, okay? Check it out. All right, without further ado, let's head on down to this week's featured question. And what a hot topic indeed. I am just starting my career as an independent artist in the music industry. Should I rely on radio to promote my music? So this topic came up pretty recently on social media because a local Malaysian artist posted a Facebook, sort of a bit of a rant, a bit of a complaint on the local English radio station Hits. So I sort of did this little discussion during one of the Ask Me Anything live stream sessions that I had. Right, so you might want to go and also check out the other video because I discussed that topic in depth. Okay, with some of our community members and some of the viewers that were on the live stream. But If you are an upcoming artist, if you are a new artist, right, I probably will sort of want to share my opinion and my thoughts on this. Now, I'm not a label guy. I'm not a music business expert. So, right, you should probably want to also ask around and get advice, from people who are have much more expertise in this area, right, especially in the areas of music business. Well, I'm just a recording engineer slash producer slash a mixer, right? And also a musician who plays in a band. So I can really just kind of give you my opinion and my insights and from my point of view. Okay, so now the most recent of the listenership surveys that was kind of conducted end of last year, it shows that radio listenership in Malaysia remains pretty high, with radio stations garnering around 20.6 million listeners tuning in per week on average. Okay, now so yeah, even though it's 2020 and it's the age of digital streaming, and yes, digital streaming platforms are gaining a lot of momentum, right? A lot of people, especially in the urban segment and the urban areas, are listening more and more to digital streaming platforms like Spotify, like Jukes, and whatnot. Okay, but radio still remains very, very relevant, right, for Malaysian listeners, and in fact, actually, right, worldwide as well. Okay, now. But here's what you want to take into consideration. If you are an independent or a non-label artist, okay, here's the hard fact, the hard truth. There is almost a 0% chance that you are going to make any sort of breakthrough on radio. Okay, 0% chance. Now, right, not to sound negative, right, or not to sound, or so pessimistic, okay, but here's where you have to look at it. Now, if you are an artist that already has some kind of buzz, right, you've got, a good following, you've got good following, not only on the ground, on your shows, but also on your social media. You've got a lot of views, you have a lot of views on your YouTube, you have a lot of followers on your Facebook and Instagram. Then yes, right, with some buzz, radio, right, fits in like, it's like a puzzle, and it's like the final piece of the puzzle. It fits into that final piece and helps to push an artist into that, higher level, right, into that higher level of superstardom. But if you're just starting out, if you're a new artist, if you're an indie artist, right, it really shouldn't really be a major part of your business plan, okay? Now, radio stations these days, right, are what we refer to as format radio, okay? They fall into certain formats, they fall into certain demographics as well. For example, here in Malaysia, hits is for top 40, right? Mix FM caters more towards the older adult contemporary crowd, and etc. Okay, so radio stations, okay, especially the main and major radio stations, they follow trends. They follow trends that have already been set, right? Especially when it comes to international radio charts, such as maybe Billboard, and or maybe in UK or some of the Western. So basically, they follow, right, the charts and the trends of what is in the Western radio stations. So, bearing that in mind, this kind of tells you immediately that these radio stations don't really play, and in fact, look, for the past 20 years or so, they are not really the ones that play any significant role in breaking new artists, okay? I can also attest to that personally, because, my band used to be a recording artist as well, right, during this time. Okay, now, yes, there are the obligatory local top 10 shows, right? For example, okay, which nobody really listens to. And yeah, they can maybe pick up your song and play it at odd hours, 3 or 4 in the morning, but that's it, that's it. Unless you are an indie, and you walk into the radio station with statistics and numbers which say that, oh, I got like 20 million views on my video, or I got like two to several million streams on my Spotify single, okay? Don't expect too much, okay? So where should you be putting your focus and your attention to, all right? Okay, my recommendation is that if you are an independent artist and if you are a new, artist, you should instead put your effort into the streaming platforms such as Spotify, your YouTube, your SoundCloud. Number 2, obviously your social media, your touring, playing live, email lists and all that. All of these things matter so much more, right? And you should be putting much more attention and putting much more effort into these platforms and these avenues instead. Now, if you do want to get into some radio, right, which again, like I said, you shouldn't be putting so much effort and spending and investing so much time and money in radio. But if you do, you may want to focus on, say, maybe smaller, like more hometown, more localized radio channels, okay? For example, those that cater to a certain state or certain district, maybe college or university radio stations, which there are quite a number, okay, here in Malaysia. Or internet radio stations, okay, those that are on online, for example, as it's easier, right, to go to these channels, right, and to develop more of your local street buzz that way. Okay, right. Now, having said that, okay, to sort of improve your chances of getting radio airplay, there are several factors as well. Okay, so number 1, I'm going to sort of list them out. Number 1, all right, sound quality. Simply put, right, if your song has been poorly recorded and poorly mixed, it's not going to get played, okay? So, right, spend your time and invest in good recording, have a professional help you to mix and master your song. Okay, number 2, right, it sounds pretty obvious, but great songwriting, okay? You have to have a good, or I should even say great song, okay? Have good lyrics that stand out. You would definitely want to have a good arrangement, right? And obviously a nice catchy melody or hook, right? Now ultimately, right, it doesn't mean that everything has to fall into the pop formula, right? It doesn't mean everything you need to copy and imitate and follow the formula of a pop song. The most important thing in the end is that song where it has to make and it has to elicit some kind of emotional response, it has to make some kind of emotional connection, right? So it can be a fun, happy song which people want to dance to. You have some kind of dance moves or whatsoever. But it can also be a sad, a reflective, a much more emotional, coming from a song that comes from a more emotional side of things, right? That's what's important. Most importantly, it has to make some kind of emotional connection. Okay, number 3, all right, your touring schedule. Okay, now I understand, of course, now we are under the global pandemic, right? And this might not be really applicable to you right now because we can't really go out and tour and play any shows. Okay, but eventually when all this lifts, this is still a very important point that you have to consider. All right. Now, if you are actively touring, if you're actively playing shows and you're getting positive reviews from different sources, maybe online, maybe from people who have watched you, like maybe some press or some of the local media reports, okay? Right, radio will more likely pay attention to you, okay? Because most importantly, right, Do you have some kind of story, right? Do you have some kind of background or some kind of campaign that you're running? Okay, hence touring, for example, to help you sell the song that you are trying to promote, right? So if you're actively having touring, that definitely helps as well. If you've just put out a song out there, all right, and you're not doing any tours, you're not doing any campaigns, you're not actively doing any promotions, it really doesn't really make sense for the radio to play you or to promote you on their and put you on their radio airplay. You get what I mean? So again, this goes back to maybe if that's the case, if you're just happy and contented to just put your song out there and you're not going to be touring, you're not actively touring anything, maybe it's better to just focus on your YouTube and SoundCloud and other online platforms lah. Okay, so number 4, make a good first impression. By this I mean you need to have a very well made, professionally done press kit. So press kits nowadays can be in the form of an electronic press kit or an EPK, right, or even a good website. Okay, on one hand, for example, if you were to go up to a radio station or you go up to anybody and you just give them like a if you just give them like a CDR, right, like a burned CDR with just the simple inlay, right, it's not going to give a good impression. Okay, right, what you want to do is that you have a really well designed, have got nice inlay, nice artwork, or if everything is online, you're doing an electronic press kit, have it hosted on a good professional website. Okay, have it well designed. There's so many like DIY options on how to design a good website nowadays, which some of them are, cost no money at all, right? You just need to put in and invest your time and effort in it. Number 5, it should appeal to the radio manager's taste. Well, simply put, right, if the station manager, the music director, the playlist director, or any sort of decision maker in the station likes the song, all right, it will, of course, obviously increase the chance of your song getting radio airplay. Station managers, all these people who work in the radio stations are, in the end, they're all humans as well. So if they like what they hear, right, there is definitely going to be a higher chance that you're going to get on airplay. And last but not least, number 6, and I feel this is very important, show your appreciation. Okay, you want to connect and engage with the radio personnel. Okay, so every time you sort of connect with them, you want to thank them either via email or maybe a social media post, and you want to build connections with them. All right, okay, so later on this line, down the line, all these sort of connections and the relationships that you build, it opens up inroads for, let's say, maybe in the future, right, future interviews, features, and maybe when you want to promote your own shows and concerts. Okay, having all these relationships, building all these relationships, help to open up the inroads to this. Now, in the long run, okay, you are gonna be gaining more in terms of showcasing and fan growth through this way and through this method, right? Through building relationships with people, right? It's rather than just relying on something on your song going viral or just having that one hit song. Okay, so you see, my personal experience with my band Pop Shop It with radio has been really extremely positive. We had really good radio airplay for 2 of our best singles, right? Which was Old School Rocker and Mara Bahaya. And not only that, we established a very good working relationship. We serviced radio stations ourselves. We connected and we got to know and we built a close friendship and relationship with people from the radio. What this meant was that even after our song no longer was on high rotation on radio, we still got back. We were still invited to, perform for events, perform for their showcases, feature on some of their programs, even way after the song, right, was already way past its time. So later on, my bandmates, right, 2 of my bandmates, Moots and also Uno, ended up joining radio itself. But even with 2 of my bandmates in radio stations, right, to be honest, we never actually got any sort of special treatment, even though they were, what we considered, on the inside of the radio stations. Because for the fact of the matter, during, let's say, post 2010, 2011, right? Our later albums and the later songs that we put weren't exactly the radio friendly type, okay? We were a little bit more experimental. We went towards more the heavier side of things. So even though two of my bandmates were in radio stations, right? All of our later songs, the later singles, didn't really get any sort of heavy radio airplay at all. So all in all, yes, radio still matters, right? It still plays an important role, but you have to bear in mind that, right? It's not the same as it was before. It's not the only game in town, and you should not be focusing and paying too much attention. You don't want to put so much effort and time and money into trying to get radio to play your songs and all that, right? Only to sort of end up disappointed. Okay, remember, right? A lot of radio stations are format radio stations. They play songs to a certain format, mostly either whatever's in the top 20 or top 40 hits. They only play stuff which is already trending, stuff that people, the listeners, already want to hear, okay, right? And that's why if you're new and upcoming, it's a lot better for you to, right, focus on other platforms instead. Hopefully what I've shared with you with regards to this topic has been helpful, okay? And hopefully this helps you guys out there, especially if you're new, if you're an independent artist and you are looking to sort of promote your songs. All right, this brings this week's episode of Weekly Update Wednesday to a close. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, please leave your feedback and your comments down below. I really, really love to hear from every one of you out there. Okay, if you found the video helpful, if you found it useful and informative, do please leave a like, okay? Share this with all your musical friends. And remember, click subscribe and the notification bell. Do consider also to sign up in becoming a patron. Head down to www.patreon.com/studio2105, okay, to sign up to become a patron. Now, wherever you're watching this, right, not only here in Malaysia or in the Philippines or anywhere else in the world, okay, we are still in the midst of the global pandemic. So do always remember to always stay safe, stay healthy, right? Remember to always wash your hands, take care of your health, your personal hygiene, right? Remember to always wear your face mask whenever you are going out in public, okay? And always practice your social distancing. Okay, I do hope to see you again in next week's video and in some of the upcoming videos. Do head on down, right, to my channel to check out all of the other videos, right, from the live streams to the weekly Q&As, some of the Facebook live stream sessions, the song breakdown episodes, tutorial sessions, and all the other videos. Do check them out, okay? Really, really appreciate it. See you again next week. Stay safe, take care, goodbye.